Mars driving, let's go. Jupiter, optimism, faith, future and present oriented. Okay, Jupiter's opportunity, blessings, fortune, magnanimity. The word magnanimity is maybe magnanimous. Magnanimous is one of the best words you can understand for Jupiter. Okay, magnanimous means that you have a large, magnified animal being, animal. It means, I tell people that have strong, very strong Jupiter energies in their chart, especially Jupiter with moon, Jupiter with the sun, whatever. You should own a large animal, okay? I mean, that's magnanimous, large animal. It'll do a lot for your soul, in other words, especially moon, Jupiter aspects that way. Jupiter's opportunity, blessings, fortune, magnanimity, wisdom, charity, benevolence. Jesus said it perfectly, I am and I am and I am. No, I was, I am, and I will be. He was the eternal now. I tell everybody, the reason it's important to meditate and to be here now, to be focused in this moment, is that's the only place that the reality is. All this other stuff, the future, the past, the more it drags you away from the now, the less you are in the present, and the less possibility of you ever getting in tune with God. Scripture says, be still and know that I am God. Okay? Wow, what blasphemy. Huh? How can that be? Because you're the temple of God. You know where the temples are? Right here. That's your temples, right? And within Him is all of us, dwells God. So how do you praise God? Think about that. You praise God in your fellow man. You take a moment to see their beauty, to see their good. How lovely you look. What a beautiful piece of necklace you have. Your hair looks great today. I mean, find something to find the good in people. Praise the good. Then it uplifts you and it uplifts them. It shows love. Okay, because love is made manifest in praise. If I love my wife, I praise her. If I'm going to go for a divorce, I'm going to start accusing. That's the devil, separation, alienation. The word devil comes from diablos. D-I, divide, avalos, avalish. That's Saturn's energy, divide and conquer. Okay? So if you're walking in self-accusation, that's destroying you as well. Huh? That's why forgiveness is so important. Because your body can't contain that accusation continually without falling apart. You're going to have sickness, ailments, all sorts of things. It'll make you age quicker. Father Time does his job, believe me. Saturn, Father Time. I mean, it preserves you. Jupiter's a preserver, it keeps you young. Like I'm 78 this year, 78 years old. But I mean, I don't dwell in that past. I don't live. I could regurgitate all those years in prison, all the bad things I did in my life. I could walk around more guilty than everybody in this room combined. I have good reason. It's all in public record. You see? But I mean, I choose not to. I have to forgive myself. And that way I can also be forgiving to others. One of the things I found in my counseling arts is that people will confide in me in things they'll never confide to others. Because they know I won't judge them. Because I've already done it all. I've done it. Who am I to judge somebody? Huh? I'm not here for that. I'm here to find a solution for your problems in your life and see what we can do about them. Okay, so Saturn, pessimism, caution, fear, duty, responsibility, unforgiving, living in the past. Father, the disciplined father. Remember I told you that. Saturn is Father Time, measure off of all things. Saturn gives them patience, punctuality, and guilt, and accusation. There's an interesting, great scripture that gives you great insights into Saturn energy. Yeah? Oh, I hit something here? What did I do? Yeah, thank you. Pull my pants up and there you go. Anyway, so Saturn is Father Time, and he's impatient. And I talk in my book about a book called Type A and Type B Behavior and Heart Attacks, and the people that are dying early of heart attacks are people that have what they call Type A personalities. And listen to what the psychologist described it as: a chronic sense of time urgency. Now let's break that down, what they just said. Where does the word chronic come from?
Time.
Chronos. Good for you. Time, Father Time, chronos. Chronic. A chronic disease is one of long duration. That's all Saturn talk. You see that? When you learn language, you start looking, you see, my God, how much language we have is astrology. It's amazing. The word disaster comes from discord in the stars. Okay?
I'm sorry,
Satirical.
make repeat, but what was disaster from?
How do you break that down? Disaster?
What's that? Disaster, discord, asteroid.
Oh, disaster.
Yeah, disaster. The word satirical humor came from Saturn. And what is satirical humor?
Sounds like Satan.
Yeah.
But it's meaning, like, is it sarcastic?
Yeah, it's finding fault, judgment. You know, it's like the satirical cartoons showing, let's say, exaggerated ears for Obama, or Nixon, the big sloopy nose. That's satirical humor, poking fun at other people at their expense. Okay, people that have strong Saturn. The gentleman was here the last time. Really strong Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, but he had a way of making humor out of cutting little remarks. He's good at that, isn't he? So that Saturn cuts you down, and take you apart piece by piece. That's how they do. They're good at that. And so satirical, the word satirical. Israel comes from 3 roots. Isis, the moon god, Ra, the sun god, and Elwin, the planets. I wrote that and published it for the National NCGR, and I got all sorts of flack from Jewish people. Oh, Ron, don't tell us that. We're the only religion, one God. Don't tell us about other gods. Don't tell us about that. But they don't want to know, so that's fine. Hold on to what you believe.
Is Isis the mother in Egypt or something?
Isis, Ra is this moon god. Isis, okay. Ra is the sun god. And Elwin was the planets. So, how about pandemic? That's the goat god, Pan. Panic, the goat god, Pan. All Saturn stuff.
The mischievous one.
Yeah, exactly.
Panda.
So, Pandora. All these words relate to Saturn and Capricorn. Okay, the goat god. Okay? The language is filled with this. All your...
Pandora's box.
Huh?
Pandora's box.
Yeah, open it up and you got problems, don't you?
Don't go.
Yeah, and that's because all that evil's inside there, right? That's Saturn stuff, okay? The boogeyman, that's Saturn, okay? So all this, there's so much, take a moment, Ron, just a moment.
We went back to Mars. We're on it.
Should I back up again? I played with my notes. So again, we're talking about Father Time, devourer of all his children. Notice what Father Time does. He devours us. Okay? Well, time devours us anyway, doesn't it? We're all going to pass on eventually. You don't care how good a life you live, you're going to eventually have to go face the same thing all of us do, which is ultimately we're going to pass on. So, impatience. There's nothing more ugly than a person that's impatient. The first virtue of love is what in the Bible? Does anybody know what it is? Patience. The first virtue of love. The highest virtue of all is patience. And don't you admire people that are patient? I was on the phone with somebody the other day from another country, India, dealing with my book publication that I've got, on Kindle and Amazon. She spent an hour with me. I said, "You're so patient. You're such a lovely person." And she said, "That's all I got to do, is be patient," she says, "and work with you. Let's make it right." And we admire that. We hate we get on somebody in tech support and they just blow you away. They don't have no time for you. There's no love there. There's no compassion. There's no feeling for you and what you need. It's all about me, my time. I gotta be somewhere, I gotta do this. I remember seeing a guy outside of a dress shop one time just blowing his horn, hanging on his horn, beet red in his face, and his wife was in shopping, and he was so angry, so impatient because she was spending too much time shopping in that store. And I looked at him and I saw, that's the devil inside him. Satan, the devil in him. That's who it is. The accusing, the time urgency, all that stuff is that. And he'll die early, that impatience will kill him. It won't hurt his wife. She'll outlive him for sure. She's going to enjoy herself shopping and all his insurance money. So that's terrible. That's brutal. But the Father Time. You know, and listen, there's an interesting scripture too. The devil rages for he knows he only has a short time. That's scripture. The devil rages for he knows he has but a short time. Well, of course, the Christians interpret that in some ecclesiastical big way that got, the devil's raging under the, in hell somewhere, and the devil's in each one of us when we're raging because we have no more time. Not enough time, not enough money. It's all the same spirit, okay? It'll destroy us. We think we're getting something from that spirit and that consciousness. It's a destroyer. Puts age on your face, makes you old fast. You can't stay young with all that consciousness all the time. Let go. What is it? Lighten up, right? Lighten up. My wife tells me that when I get down. Lighten up, Ron, lighten up. Lighten up, that's Jupiter, light, the light of the world. Right? Jupiter is the light of the world. And when you dwell on good, guess what happens? Your eyes dilate. Oh my God, they dilate. If an eye be single, the whole body will be full of light. That's what the early Christians were talking about, a totally dilated eye. Okay? What makes your eyes open? A man's eyes dilate the most when he looks, if he's heterosexual, if he looks at a nude female. So Greeks had it great. Have these all nude statues all over the place. Keep people's eyes open, right? So, but a woman's eyes used to dilate the most at the scene of a mother and a child. Now that's interesting. That's probably not true anymore, but it used to be. And it's interesting because the motifs of Christianity are the Madonna, the mother and child. Something else that's interesting, men's eyes dilate to violence, not women's always. Maybe they do now, I don't know, maybe we changed. But men's eyes dilate to violence. Bloody man on the cross, Madonna with the child. Makes your eyes open. Strange, isn't it?
And then that puts you in a sense when your eyes are open and you're...
There's more light in you, okay? If an eye be single, the whole body be full of light, okay? Obviously you walk outside, you get in the sun, your eyes are going to constrict, it's different. But you look at a child's eyes, they're generally really dilated, There's an old wives' tale you women should know. There's an old wives' tale. It says if a man tells you he loves you, and his eyes are pinpointed, beware. Because there's a lie there. He's not telling you the truth. Because if he was looking at you and seeing love and beauty in his eyes, it would show in his eyes, it would dilate.
Sometimes you can see people's eyes open as you're talking, like you maybe hit a subject that
they're interested in.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or they soften.
Yeah. Like in my book, I talk about the old gem sellers in China. Used to always, Americans come over to buy gems or whoever, they'd be there looking at them, and all of a sudden they would see one they liked, and their eyes would dilate. Well, the seller knew what to look for. He was watching their eyes. And all of a sudden the price goes sky high. It was okay. Everything else was cheap, but all of a sudden he saw one he liked, and there's a spy on that. Because that guy's not stupid. It's like wearing glasses when you're playing poker. Because the poker players know that if I get a royal flush, don't you think my eyes are going to tell us?
You're right.
Your eyes don't lie, right? Your eyes don't lie. Read the last chapter of my book. It's on light and the eye dilation. Okay? The mysteries of mysteries in the book. I promise you. Did you get a book? Mm-mm. Everybody in here got a book? Who didn't get a book? Who didn't get a book? Just you.
I didn't get it.
Good. Okay. So you get a book free. That's part of it.